Good day today, really probably our hottest day so far, so it's a good work day. You know, when you have days like today, it's a little bit, it ends up being a different emphasis, which is the mental toughness part of practice, but I thought for the most part our guys learned, they battled through. You know, we still have to get and pick it up at a little levels, especially when you face the adversity of heat and to maximize yourself. And, you know, to me, which is with everybody within the depth of the team, that, you know, ones, twos, threes, I want to see really high quality reps all the way down, not just a distinct drop off from the ones all the way down to the threes. So that's important to us. But it's gone pretty well. Shelby Christie's going to be out towards ACL. He's going to be out for the season right now for us, just in a planting on the foot, and the knee just kind of gave way, so he's going to be out for the season for your updates.
Are you getting the quality snaps that you're looking for?
We are. We're getting a lot of them. Our guys are working hard. You know, I mean, the attitude, the tempo of practice is really good. You know, I mean, the effort level is good. That stuff's all important to me. You know, to see there now, I just want to see it. You know, I want to see it all together. I want to see the effort with, you know, guys. When we're working on technique, sometimes guys are like, it's hot, but I'm working on my steps, coach, and the other time I'm just working to go hard, just putting it all together, especially when you got to deal with the adversity of the heat today.
Coach, I was wondering if you had any thoughts on the NCAA's ruling yesterday and the autonomy.
I think it's pretty good. We'll see how it shakes out, you know, when they to see what steps we're going to take and how we're going to go take it. But I do think, you know, I mean, sometimes you read some of those rulings and you know, sometimes, you know, there's people making decisions. I looked at one of the people on the board making decisions didn't have a football program at their school, and they're making a lot of Division I decisions. And so, you know, there's so much diversity within there that I think it allow, hopefully, some of the schools, you know, that are in the SEC and other similar conferences to make decisions that are going to be kind of suited towards that school and in the best interest of the student athletes at that school.
Do you have any update on DeSean Cooper yet?
He's practicing, or we're waiting to see what the NCAA does with him.
And will Coleman have to redshirt this year?
Waiting to see what the NCAA does with it.
When you talk about the autonomy in that aspect, how do you guys expect maybe that is going to improve your lives as student athletes? I know Scott Strickland talked to him and he said that's kind of the hope. How do you kind of think what could happen?
Well, there's a lot of different, you know, the different things. I mean, I think, you know, you look at the ability to put, with the cost of attendance, to put some spending money in kids' pockets. They can go get a pizza on a Friday night is going to be important. I think the change in the food deal, you know, I don't think we have to take it overboard, which unfortunately I think that's what happens. Some schools take something that's good for the student athlete and then try to go way overboard to maybe turn it into maybe a recruiting advantage or something that they're going to try to utilize in recruiting more than let's just worry about benefiting the student athletes. But we'll see. You know, I mean, there hasn't been any proposals brought forward. Now there's just the opportunity for those proposals to get forward, so we have to see what happens when we get those.
How much does it change, I guess? How much does that need, you know, for the cost of attendance change? You've been in coaching for a while. Did you maybe see this in Bowling Green or even in Utah, or is it kind of more a recent problem, or what would?
No, I think it's, you know, I think the diversity of the players that we have and the demands that are put on their time. You know, I mean, you look back in the old days, a lot of guys would get summer jobs all summer and try to get some jobs to put some money in their pocket. Well, it's a different world today. You know, these guys are here and they're in summer school, and, you know, because we're trying to make sure we get them graduated early. And, you know, so there are opportunities to go get jobs and to do other stuff. Plus, I mean, in the job market where it is, it's not easy to just say, hey, let's just go place 50 guys into summer jobs for 2 months and then bring them back to go to school. Those type of situations have really changed the game of football. And so these guys, I mean, you're talking, I mean, when you look at, I mean, what are you going to give them while they're on campus? $200, $100 to $200 a month. It's not a whole lot for a college kid. And, you know, a lot of these kids, they don't have parents that are able to send them to, you know, that are able to sit there and say, hey, I'm going to send you some spending money while you're up there, and or, you know, hey, I'm going to, you know, we're going to, within school, your summer job is going to be used as your spending money to go to school. So I think it allows them to be normal people.
You talked in camp about the familiarity of the offensive staff. Some of you guys have been together sparring. Are you seeing the results of that now that the players have been with these guys for spring into a preseason week or so?
I do. I think, I think within the staff, I think there's a lot of comfort level in what goes on within the staff, and then the players are going to feel that comfort level. That, everybody's on the same page. And if there's an issue, I think the communication flow is a lot easier, with questions that come up or things we have to tweak or change, The communication flow within the coaching staff's great to get it fixed. And I think also within the players, with experience with the players, but they also know the familiarity with the staff and guys being together that, players, especially the veteran players, they can come up and say, hey, can we try something different? What about if we try it this way? We'll talk about it and see if we can make it better.
You like the feedback where the players feel confident enough to make suggestions as well and have a give and take?
Well, that's a huge part of it. That means they're thinking about football. We want guys that are thinking about football all the time.
Going out to the farm is sort of the first step of camp. Now, I guess finals are over. You get to move everybody to the hotel. Does that change things much for you?
That's huge. Well, really, camp to me, training camp started really today. We could say last night after finals, but they still took exams yesterday. We had guys that didn't get out of finals till 9 o'clock last night. Our guys that are in grad, we had a bunch of guys in grad school. So, those guys had finals last night. So what you're looking at now is today's really the first day of camp. We get to go move into the hotel in a whole different mindset of things. A lot of the installations in, a little bit more to install, but they get to really spend right now 1 full week of just all ball all the time.
Have you seen enough progression from your quarterbacks this week that you wanted to see coming into this week?
Yeah. The 2 older guys, you expect them to know what's going on in the field. And, you have high standards. You want them to perform. They're going to have some days where they're performing a little better than other days. But to me, the knowledge aspect of it, the leadership aspect of it, I'm really been pleased with those guys. And I'm pleased with how the 2 young guys are really picking things up. I know they get frustrated, because they're competitive and they want to compete. They want to, perform at a very, very high level. But, as young players, I've been pretty pleased how they've picked things up and are still, at this point with installations, a lot of guys are just, they've cashed it in. They're lost, and our guys still fighting through and really picking up what we're putting in.
What have you seen from the running backs right now? Is there a lot of competition there? Is Josh
There's a lot of guys competing to get carries for the ball, and from the top all the way to Dontavian Lee and Harris Williams competing, running the ball hard, and I think that always leads to that level. Because everybody at that position's looking. Nick Griffin's finally healthy. And it's a guy that's been in the program, know he has talent, does a lot of things really, really well, and knows the system so well that's huge. And, and Holloway's a dynamic player. Shumpert's physicality. There's something that everybody brings to the table, and it keeps the competition pretty heated.